maybe. There we go.
All right, here we go. Uncle's first words. The moon is crashing. Oh, Majora's Mask shout out.
And speaking of the moon crashing, we already have some explosions.
That's good. They don't have to farm for bombs. They're set well into Kakariko Village. Depending on what items they can get, one of our runners could decide to go south first rather than going to Kakariko Village. I mean, I don't personally do that, but it's still an option. You tend to check everything in the Kakariko Village area, south of the map where the Moldorm Cave is, and then you decide what items do I have and where do I want to go from there.
Actually, if I have bombs and I don't have rupees, I like to go to the Moldorm Cave first. Possibly prep better for Kek, since you need 100 rupees and you want to try and get a bottle as well as you can check Sit Kid.
Well, it looks like they're a bit on their way. They already have 20 rupees. Yeah, getting that bottle, if they find a bottle here, I guess, then it's less likely that they'll do that, but without a bottle, like you said, maybe hoping to get one. There's 5 items in Moldorm Cave, 2 at the gate, and depending if they fake flippers or just head to Ice Rod Cave. There's so many items down there.
Yeah, I feel like everything besides the dam and the Moldorm Cave is kind of slow, unless you have boots. Kakariko has a lot of items, it's very fast, but so we'll see what they do once they reach the end of the escape.
Nice spin strats from our runners here.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to give a quick mention that Tear is on the tracker. So blame him if he misses something. Not kidding. But no, seriously, if we do miss something, just let us know. I mean, it can be tricky watching 2 runners and catching everything. It looks like there's a slight problem with Wolfie's stream, though. Hopefully, he didn't disconnect from the IRC, so...
Yeah, his stream just went down for me. Is Sean's down as well, or is that me? Oh, I see him. I think that was me. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like Wolfie's good. We did not have an internet issue. We're okay.
Wolfie's stream is, it did go down. Sean using a bomb on the ball and chain guard. I really hope he doesn't die here. That'd be awful.
Alright. Half heart strats.
I'm not sure he meant to do that. I actually don't know how much bombs do on those guys. Grabbing the heart pot on the way out to make sure he doesn't die.
I feel like the ball and chain guard, he has... I feel like he takes damage differently than usual. Because you can hit him with, like, Master Sword and he seems to take the same number of hits. I don't know. I don't know the math.
Well, like, a lot of enemies in Light World, or a lot of, like, Light World bosses, basically, they take the same damage from both Fighter Sword and Master Sword damage classes. And that's because spin attack from the Fighter Sword is equivalent to a Master Sword hit. So They didn't want spin attacks to be OP early game on these enemies.
Makes sense. So, Wolfie does have, of course, one more bomb than Sean, since Sean used one on the guard there. So, I mean, 5 bombs is still pretty much what you need, because you're going to use 1 in escape here. You're going to use 3 in town, which is 4 in the... Actually, yeah, and then technically you need a total of 6 if you're checking Ice Rock Cave. But what are the chances that you won't find a bomb? Oh man, commentator curse already.
I mean, they could get drops as well.
Sure.
But it is really nice that they got bombs in the first chest for checking the back of the sewers, just because they don't have to waste time trying to get drops.
Now, I was talking to Vitor before, and I think with this version of the randomizer, it's something like a 96% chance that you will get bombs in escape at some point. simply due to the enemy drops or it just being one of the chests here. So, I mean, you're gonna hopefully get bombs, but you never know if you're in that weird 4% chance that there's no way. But no problem with Forerunners here. They got bombs.
Oh wow, they're synced up again despite Sean falling behind at the ball and chain guard. Sean's been running this game for a long time, on and off. So he's got a lot more experience. He's also done several of the glitched categories. Wulfy is a relatively newer runner. I think he started late last year.
Yeah, but he's been he's very good.
Yeah.
He's been doing a great job. Oh, another bomb from Sean. He has them, he's using them. I'm gonna actually pull up Wulfy's stream directly just in case we have an issue. But yes, we do have silvers in the escape cave, so we won't see any arrowless Ganon strats unless our runners really feel like doing that.
It always makes me sad. I kind of like seeing how different people handle the silverless fight.
Yeah.
Alright, so Sean's going to go to Kakariko first. Actually, he's probably going to make the loop to check the lumberjack item in the Lost Woods first. Also, pull the tree, which this tree has is one of a few trees that has rupee drops in it, and which drops you get. Wow, 8 bombs. That's really good.
I actually like that. I would rather get rupees or bombs from the pulled tree.
Yeah, for sure. Hearts and fairies are actually some of the most useless things you can get from there at this point. Full magic is nice. Oh, we have a book at the lumberjack item.
Now, that doesn't mean the book is necessary, but it's a very good chance that they'll need the book. I mean, if they want to check pedestal, they need the book.
If they want to check any of the tablets, they need book. Yeah, it's possible it's required to enter Desert Palace.
Yeah.
Which, even if... Oh, wow, that is the Titan's Mitt. Free seed.
Actually, was that the coloration was off for me?
I'm pretty sure it was the Titan's Mitt.
Alright. So already, we got the Titan's Mitts from our runners. Well, we assume Wulfy is the same, since he's having some issues right now.
Well, I don't know if you caught or heard about one of the races the other day that Tara was in, but things were assumed while his stream was down.
Oh,
that he,
no.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Well, I missed it. What happened?
So he skipped the Sanctuary chest because he incorrectly deduced that it was the Hyrule Castle.
Oh, that's right. I saw that at the end. Everyone was talking, he needs this item, and he kept skipping it even though he saved and quit, and there it was. I'm assuming he thought it was the map.
Yeah, it was actually the shovel, and it led to... I think it led to flute and a chain of other items. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but... But yeah, so can't really assume things, but I'm sure he grabbed the Titan's Mitt. It's out in the open.
Alright, just a couple of minor items so far in Kakariko and Steve's hut here. Just a boomerang, which is the worst boomerang, but...
The worst boomerang? Excuse me?
It's the lag boomerang.
It's sparkly. That's all that matters. Alright, checking the well. Boomerang and nut so far. Nothing in Kakariko that opens up new locations.
I mean, getting gloves, any kind of gloves early, is always a good thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Even just Power Glove, it opens up Zora, assuming they don't get flippers.
Half
and
magic.
They don't want fake flipper. And also, more importantly, I think, it opens up Death Mountain.
Ah, yes.
So it looks like Wulfy is having some internet issues now. He quit the SRL, so...
Oh yeah, getting timeout.
I hope he's able to fix that. It's hard to fix. Like, he's focusing on racing itself, and I assume he's doing some kind of recording, just in case. But to fix that, like, when do you have the time when you're actually running this game too?
Yeah, I actually had my internet completely die during one of my matches, and I had to actually, when I got a crystal, I had to get up and go reset the router in the middle of my run.
Oh man.
Alright, Sean's cleaned out Kakariko, hasn't gotten too much. Did check the bottle vendor.
About 10 minutes is pretty nice to get done Kakariko here. We have a blue cane.
Yep. Not necessary.
There's a very small chance you need to get that cane to do Spike Cave. Oh, but there's a flute. Sean might want to go pick that up.
Yeah, you want that.
I mean, it's a shame he's going to have to walk up just to, get the duck. But, hey, it's flute. You don't want to say... And, oops, another extra bomb from Sean. But yeah, getting the flute this early is nice. You can go right to, you don't have to save and quit. You can just flute right on over to the gate. You can flute closer towards Ice Cave. It's a little faster that way at Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah, you can also flute straight to Death Mountain without climbing it.
Yeah, I think it's a little faster to get the old man that way.
I think it's actually nice that he got the flute so close to Kakariko. He just has to walk up and activate the weather vane.
There's definitely been times where if I've forgotten to do this, I've gotten the flute in like Steve's hut and I forgot to go get the duck.
I've forgotten that I got flute a few times, and I blamed that on having the shovel and having the shovel over the flute item, because you have to press Y in the menu to switch between items, multiple items in the same slot.
Right.
So I got stuck.
I use a tracker. Shout outs to Cross Products Tracker. Definitely well recommended, especially for new runners, because it includes a map that will show you what items you can reach based on what you have in your inventory. So that's really nice. I use a tracker, so I happen to mark. I usually don't miss when I get flute, but it helps a little bit. So immediately, not even checking the southern portion of the map here, he's going right up to Death Mountain. Now, it's a shame he can only actually get 2 items here, the Old Man and whatever's inside of Spectacle Rock. Unless one of them happen to be Hookshot or Mirror, he's not going to be doing much else. I probably would check south of the map, just try to get one of those items, because I like coming up to Death Mountain when I can collect the right-hand side, which is where all the chests are. We have a mirror, so now he can go to Tower Hera.
Vanilla mirror. Chad is saying that it's actually Power Glove that was found in the Lost Woods, and that I guess like the weird palette from the Lost Woods, the mist, kind of made it look like Titan's Mitt.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a map, have we?
No. Well, we only have Sean to go by right now.
Yeah.
Flipper's sitting in Spectacle Rock here.
Yeah, definitely want those. I'm kind of curious, as soon as Aghanim opens up, someone finds the cape or an upgraded sword, if they're going to make a beeline to him, knowing that a useful item is at Lumberjack.
Right.
But they don't have boots yet, which would be required to actually go pick it up.
Yeah, I've forgotten that before too. I'm like, oh, Aghanim's required. I'll go kill him. I walk all the way up to the Lumberjack tree, and I'm like, I can't open this. Okay, here we go. I saw a pendant for Tower Hera. I didn't see anything else.
I saw Eastern is number 5, and I didn't see Desert.
All right, chat. Who's Soul Desert?
Hera's the blue pendant, I think.
Yes, Hera was a blue pendant.
Which is kind of unfortunate, given that Hera just opened up for Sean that it's not a crystal. It looks like he's gonna go check it out anyways, though.
There are 2 items in Tower Hera itself. It's a quick check. Depending on if he actually gets a big key in these first 2 item locations, because if he doesn't, he would need to go to the tile room to get the piggy. Well, but there it is, right there. So there are 2 items here. He can get all but the whatever item is blocked by the tile room, but that could just be map or compass.
Hopefully it is. You kind of always hope that it is, just because you don't want to sit through the tile room waiting to get it.
Yeah.
Small key, so he can go down to the tile room, but he can't progress in it.
Don't forget, you need a source of fire. I've seen that happen in a race before. That you get all the way to where the chest is, then you forget, oh, I needed a source of flame. Oh, the
wow.
boost! That is a payoff, and that means he could do the bomb jump right away.
Yeah, good call.
That is a nice payout. And he has his 2 items right there. It was just a bomb upgrade. But getting boots really early, this is nice. Now, he has flute, and with boots, that means it's very quick to check the Ice Rock Cave. Of course, he has things like the Bonk Rocks he can check out. He can go anywhere quickly, which will save some time. Unfortunately, Wulfy's internet seems to be having an issue right now. His stream itself is actually down, so we don't know what's going on with him. But we're hoping for the best. And we assume he's just going to be there.
Did you catch what that medallion was on the desert ledge? I think it was Balmos. No. Yeah, Balmos. It was Balmos.
Tara got it.
So later we'll find out if Mystery Mire or Turtle Rock are required, and possibly what medallions would be needed to open those.
Now, I do want to give a quick mention that Bombos could also get our runners into Ice Palace and also beating Ice Palace if they don't have Ice Rod. Or Fire Rod. Ice Rod is useless in there.
Ice Rod is useless everywhere. Except for one particular room.
It hurts Lamolas.
It does, but it also hurts the player watching how slowly the projectiles go compared to the Fire Rod. At least it hurts me.
Alright, so we got a blue tunic sitting here in the gate. A nice little bit of protection. They only have 6 hearts, so that's actually a good thing to grab early on.
Yeah, shame it doesn't protect you from hazards like the anti-fairy that still does a whole heart.
See, and Sean will pick up this safety heart, which is not bad. I like to have up to like 10 hearts before I start feeling comfortable. Things do happen. There are a number of enemies that deal a lot of damage, like those crabs that we just saw there, doing 2 hearts of damage when you just have the green tunic, which is the sort of damage you'll see just in Dark World.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with crabs in these games. They're really incredibly strong in Super Metroid as well. So let's see what's in this thief cave. It's like not much of anything.
It looks like heading up to Death Mountain right away was a really good call. I mean, he has boots, so it definitely paid off. I'm really curious which way Wulfy went.
Yeah, I'm sure they've diverged a whole bunch at this point. Can't really say until he comes back.
Now, Sean does not need to do fake flippers, considering he has flippers, and I think it's actually faster to go from the house, Link's house, than it is to go from that southern portion there. But if you want to head to Zora, it's faster to flute on over to 8 and swim there, taking the portal, rather than going from like Sanctuary. Or
is it faster to? Oh, it is faster than fluting to 2. Okay.
Yeah. Someone did the math. So speaking of flippers,
He's doing the fake flippers.
I hope does that actually work? Like it doesn't. Okay, he's walking.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, that was a nice setup, I have to say. I think that was the fake flippers. That looked like it was just a pixel off, so that was good.
I'm not sure.
Well,
Having
at least
the
we
real
could say.
flippers. Having the real flippers is nice here because he can get the hobo item and then go back out to Zora if he wants. Although I don't think he's gonna do that, considering.
Mushroom.
Oh, okay, mushroom.
He might now.
That probably changes that. Yeah.
Now the downside is he doesn't have 500 rupees yet. So unless, whoops, he missed the duck. He does that to me too. I don't know. He's just a troll.
Flute makes the mushroom item super quick to check. He almost accidentally fluted away. That actually wouldn't help. You actually have to trigger an overworld screen transition to Moon Pearl.
Ooh, nice. And considering Book is sitting at the logging hut, Sean might just opt to head in, like almost right away to go kill Aghanim. It unlocks Book, and it unlocks the Dark World since you have Moon Pearl now.
Yep, he can't actually do that yet though, because he doesn't have an upgraded sword or the cape.
Oh, good point. It's really weird to go this long and not have an upgraded sword yet.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. What I was saying earlier was you have to trigger an overworld screen transition to actually get whatever the witch's item is to appear in the hut. If you don't do that, you can flute away, you can enter a dungeon, you can do all of this stuff, and it won't trigger. It has to be an overworld screen transition. I've seen people actually like do flute to Mire, do all of Mire, and then go back to the witch's hut, and there'd be nothing there.
I never even thought about that. I usually just, walk off the screen or portal, because portaling does work.
I don't think it does.
It does.
Does it?
You can, if you come from the Dark World, you can portal, take the portal back, come back to Light World, and that counts. I think it's a little faster than walking off the screen. I know that's what I do when I like to do Catfish and also the Zora area at the same time, if I can. So I'll just do all of those things if I have Mushroom.
I was pretty sure that the warp didn't work, but I might be wrong.
So there are 3 items sitting here, unique items in this dungeon. Oh, Wulfy, I think he's back.
Wulfy is in Dark World, wow.
Okay,
quite a divergence.
Plays were made. I don't know how Wulfy got here.
I'm very interested to know what he got.
We'll have to see if he has boots. Just the stream comes back and he's sitting in Dark World.
That was very unexpected.
Well, if Sean does get like Titan's Mitts or Hammer here, then we'll know that Wulfy came into Eastern early on. So once he opens up his inventory, we'll be able to see what he's holding. But he's still walking, so it looks like he did not go up to Death Mountain yet.
I see a bottle. I see a bottle and not very much else different. I didn't see the lower half of the menu.
Wulfy does have Titan's Mitts. I don't know where he got them. He just got a Master Sword in the Bomb Hut in Village Valcast here, so that's a sword upgrade.
Actually, did he have the book as well?
Well, he can't get the book because he's walking.
Oh, that's yeah, you're right. But yeah, so Aghanim not required, then it would seem. Because he doesn't have the cape, and he just found the Master Sword, so
right.
He couldn't have killed Aghanim yet.
Oh, not enough rupees, though. He might have went to Zora. He doesn't have any rupees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
He probably did Zora, yeah.
Desert's a pendant it's pretty likely that book actually isn't required, but there's still too many items I feel it would open up that I don't think it would be great to chance it.
So it looks like Wulfy is doing the walk on over towards Hype Cave. Unfortunately, Sean does not find anything of worth inside of Eastern. So it looks like the play, for Sean, he has a choice. Since he has boots, he can go kill Aghanim. Wulfy picking up Fire Rod, which is a very nice pickup. But Sean could also opt to go do Zora, which apparently the progression is.
We know it's not behind anything that requires boots, so probably not going to find anything good in here. Oh, never mind.
So now he can definitely do Aghanim. He did not need the Master Sword in Village of Outcasts. We are seeing divergence right away. It looks like Sean's just going to make his way on over. I'm not sure if this is... It might be faster to flute to Link's... I don't know. But anyway, Sean's gonna head on over, kill Aghanim. We have Hype Cave, Ether already to begin with on Wulfy's side.
Quake! And Quake!
So we know where all of the medallions are. But that's it. 2 medallions. I think that's hype. I mean, we haven't gotten a look at Dark World, so we don't know if Mire and Turok are even required, but if at least one of them are, knowing where all of those things are, I think would pay off.
So after Sean finishes up Aghanim, we'll get a chance to see what's on the pyramid. I don't think Wulfy's gone there.
So it's a shame Wulfy's still not opting to do Death Mountain, which we know where the boots are in that case. But
well, maybe he just didn't go into Hera. He has the mirror, right? He has the mirror, so he's gone there. He just opted not to go into Hera.
Right, because it was a pendant dungeon. He's probably waiting until he has maybe Hammer or Hook Shot, and he'll just check everything at the same time.
Yeah, that is probably what I would have done, honestly.
Yeah. I feel like it's a hard play to go up the Tower of Hera. If it were a crystal, I think that's an easy call. Go do it. But with it being a pendant, it's less likely just for 2 items. Now, if Wulfy, like maybe in his mind, he's thinking if he gets the book at some point, he can also take a look at the tablet, in which case it becomes a check of 3 items.
That's true. That is true.
I'm gonna guess Thieves Town is also a pendant dungeon, just because Wulfy didn't go in there.
Yeah, unless he already had time to go in there and snag the... Oh, well, no, he would have finished it. Yeah, it's probably a pendant dungeon.
Now, at least he has Master Sword, which is sort of nice to be able to kill the enemies here, but Tempered is just so much better. Yeah, it is a vanilla book. That is a... Well, no, it's not. Not really. I mean, you need boots to get it, so there's that. Oh no, Wulfy, come on. Please don't die.
Shoutouts to Canadian internet.
Alright, so Sean is almost done. He's pretty much at Aghanim right now. Let's see if we see some boomerang strats, which are not a thing, but he has boomerang. Next time we tune into Wulfy, yeah, he'll be finished. Like, how did he get here?
I see someone in the chat's being very rude to me. I do not appreciate that.
So Aghanim requires 6 hits. You know, of course, shooting his own shot back at him. You get 4, and then a lightning. Now, of course, in any percent, there would also be blue balls that he can fire out, which does nothing and just wastes time.
Yeah, but that's been removed in the randomizer, so all of his attacks.
Yeah, we don't need the sync for that. There's already enough randomization. It's funny that they add randomization except for like something like this where they take it out. And in like Ganon's teleporting.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
It makes faces. Faces rare.
All right.
Oh my god! It makes races more fair.
So Sean is in Dark World. Just a red rupee sitting on a pyramid. Hopefully he'll take a look at the map for us so we can actually see which are pendant dungeons. So keep an eye out, chat. There's one pendant sitting somewhere in Dark World. There is a crystal number 6 sitting somewhere in Dark World. Which I think goes back to my earlier point. At least one of Meyer or Turtle Rock is required, so getting all those medallions is pretty useful. So it's a shame Sean still doesn't have enough rupees to go take a look at Zora. Like, he could opt to mirror from Catfish, and maybe he'll just take a look at the item on the ledge.
It'd be nice if you could at least see what Zora's item is.
Oh, green rupee. Let's see if he flutes out, or okay, he's gonna head on up. Hopefully,
Hey, if the item on the ledge
is
is 300 rupees, then he's all set.
That's true. Oh, it's a green bottle, which could lead to Titan's Mitts if that's what the sick kid had.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Good.
Oh no, I hope he doesn't walk up the Zora. He's gonna be disappointed. Okay, he knows. So I think that's the hardest decision you have to make when doing a randomizer. If you don't have enough rupees for Zora, but you can get to him, do you want to waste time farming? So there's a chance he actually holds the progression item.
Well, we'll see if Sick Kid has Titan's Mid or not. Could still have been Zora that had it.
There they are. Titan's Mitts. Sick Kid had him this whole time. So it looks like Sean is going to go pick up the book right away. And then he'll probably make his way into Dark World, because there's really not much else for him to do here. Now, Wulfy does have a bit of an advantage here when it comes to Dark World exploration, since we saw he was here earlier. So he doesn't have to check as much. He's probably going to be down to mostly just dungeons at this point, whereas Sean is just entering into the Dark World portion. Picks up the book, so at least he can take a look at something like the tablet, the 2 tablets, and maybe we'll get some pedestal hype. We'll have to see. Depends on what's required.
Looks like not right now. Probably the most efficient time to check that is in the middle of doing Skullwoods.
Definitely. So there are 3 items. I think it was Quake to get in Meyer. Maybe someone in chat saw. Wulfy is in Skullwoods, so I'm gonna guess it's a required dungeon.
Oh, Sean finding the lamp and the cane next to Meyer.
Nice.
I actually never saw if he pulled up the map. I feel like that's something that you would do right about now if you hadn't done so already, so maybe I missed it.
Start planning out a route. Do you want to do Thieves Town? I mean, I feel like Thieves Town's usually a good choice to check. There's a lot of items in there. But yeah, without Fire Rod, he's not going to be able to do, and Hammer, he's not going to be able to do very many dungeons. Looks like he's going to head in a desert, though.
I mean, if he goes to Hype Cave, then he'll find Quake. He'll be able to do Meyer.
Yeah.
Sean going into his second pendant dungeon, though. It's kind of strange.
The first one paid off. And maybe he's thinking just this sort of move could put him even further ahead. I mean, it's just a question of when Wulfy's going to make his way there. And if book's required, Wulfy still has to go and beat Aghanim.
That's true. At this point, I would say it's actually pretty unlikely that Book is required, but you never know.
So we do have a Mirror Shield and a Crystal from Mothula. So first Crystal, as far as we know, has been gotten. We're seeing the important snippets from Wulfy's stream.
The only thing Book would be required for at this point is if an important item like maybe Ice Rod is at one of the tablets.
Right, because they can get into Desert just like Sean did. Okay, we have a pedestal check.
Oh, no, we don't. Wulfy doesn't have the book.
Nope, you can't read it. Not yet, chat, not yet. But a shovel for Sean in Desert Palace. Alright, so yeah, another look at the Light World dungeons.
I would very much like to look at the Dark World dungeons if the runners wouldn't mind.
Is Sean gonna beat it? He might be missing an item. I know he picked up Shovel, and I saw Burrito at one point. He might be missing the other item, and he's just opting to do it now. The downside is, since he doesn't have any rods or the bow, he's not going to be able to get that much of a quick kill against Lamolus. He has Tempered.
He has Tempered. Tempered spins. It takes 2 Tempered spins to kill each one, so that's not too bad.
Okay, someone in chat says that he had both Compass and Map, which means Lamolus does have an item. Okay, Wulfy takes the mountain save and quit, since it's a little faster to flute from there than it is from Link's house. I think the real question that will put SeanCass ahead is if Book is required for something. No, Sean was just paused so we can sync up the timers. No worries, chat.
We know there's only one pendant dungeon in Dark World, so almost all of them are required. That means Fire Rod's required. That means at least one medallion's required.
Interesting Kane strats here. I don't think the block does much damage.
It does level 1 sword damage, so...
But hey, free hit, why not?
Yeah, I guess so.
300 rupees, so Desert, not required unless Pedestal, which we don't know, because we don't know what dungeon is required. I feel like chances are slim that the Pedestal will actually hold something.
They're always slim, but...
Yeah, I think it's, what, 3% chance?
Like, 3%? Yeah, that's what I've heard. Wulfy ignoring the chest after Breadsmith, where he got the blue boomerang. And he's going into Thieves Town now, it looks like.
Well, if someone can... We don't actually hear audio chat, so if someone tells us what song is being played on Wulfy's stream, I don't know whose audio we actually might have Sean's audio. Never mind. Actually, I can pull it up. Let me... Okay, it's a pendant dungeon. Or not, sorry, it's a crystal dungeon.
Okay, interesting that he didn't go in it beforehand. I guess he was holding out for Hammer. Hammer's not required to beat Thieves Town, but it is required to check the big chest. And that could have something important in it. Sean getting a vanilla chess game.
I think it's very rare for Hammer to be at the pedestal. It depends on what the pendant dungeon is, as soon as we find out. But there's a lot of dungeons in the Dark World that require Hammer of some form.
I mean, there's actually 4 that require Hammer, so...
we got to look at the map. It looks like Mire is a pendant dungeon. Specifically, Sahasrah's pendant.
Right.
So
Okay.
Mire doesn't need Hammer. We could have Hammer at pedestal. There's a
That would be insane. I think the hammer is one of the least likely things to be at the pedestal in general.
yeah.
I think one of the only things you could that are rare is Moon Pearl.
That one would be obvious though. They are also missing Hookshot, and you don't need Hookshot to get in the Mire. So Hookshot or Hammer or Ice Rod can be at the pedestal. So we have some hope, chat.
Actually, you know what? I really want Hookshot to be in Mire, and
my gosh,
and that would require Wulfy to go find the boots.
Yep. I mean, he'll make his way up there eventually. Chances are he's going to get Hammer at some point. But if Hammer's on the right-hand side of Death Mountain, Hookshot's in Mire, and then he waits that long before he finally goes into Tower Hera to get boots, that would be ridiculous. And that would actually, I feel a little bit bad for Wulfy if that were the case. Bow, yeah, it could be Bow. Any of the progression items that our players are missing could actually be at pedestal right now. Boots aren't technically required. Boots could be required depending on what it blocks. Now, in this case, we know that Boots unlocks the book. There was nothing in the Bonk Rocks.
It's mostly down to whether books required or not. Sean finding his fire rod. I expect he'll make his way to Hype Cave pretty soon and get the medallions.
Yep. Now, he was in Desert. Did he pick up Bombos?
I didn't see.
He might have forgotten. Which
I saw chat yelling at him for not. He did not pick it up.
Okay. All right, Wulfy is gonna fight Blind. Blind taunts him, saying he's playing a blind run of this game. I mean, technically he's right though. Every time we do a randomizer, it's blind.
I think that's the joke.
Oh, I just explained a joke. Good job. Just 5 rupees, so no Hammer. Well, no. See, I'm hoping for Hammer for Wulfy, just so he can head on up to Death Mountain. But, I mean, we're looking for Hookshot, we're looking for Bow, we're looking for Hammer, we're looking for Ice Rod. 4 items still. Before going.
I wasn't paying attention. Do you know if the big chest in Thieves Town had a useful item?
I don't know. I know I saw a burrito at one point. Again. I don't know if I saw the compass, though. So Sean does pick up his 2 medallions. But without Hammer, he can't make his way on over towards the right-hand side from here. He'll have to go the northern section of Dark World and swim across. Or, you know, he killed Aghanim, so yeah, he could just actually use that portal.
Swim. Oh yeah, swim across to Catfish and Pyramid.
So it's actually hard to say who's in the lead at this point. Both of our runners are missing some key items. Sean notably has the boots and, of course, the book, which gives him an advantage there. However, Wulfy has beaten 2 crystal dungeons so far, although if there's still an item in the big chest at Thieves, he might have to go back at some point. We're not sure. Sean is making his way up the Skull Woods. He has Fire Rod. It's a crystal dungeon. I think we're going to see a pedestal check. So cross your fingers, chat.
Oh yeah, finally a pedestal check. Sean's opting to check the first half of Skullwoods first.
Sure. There are 2 items in this dungeon. Whoops. Had a pitfall, though. Wolfie's going to turn in the purple chest. Did we see Sean do this? It was a heart. Okay. No big
No,
deal.
I didn't see him do it. I don't think he did. Yeah, Sean getting a full heart in Skullwoods, that's one of the 2 items. I actually, if it's a Crystal Dungeon, I prefer to check back half of Skullwoods first.
Oh yeah, just completely skip this section?
Yeah, because it's possible the 2 items are just there and you don't need to venture into the first part of it at all. And he's trying to hover across the gap.
Almost. Alright, backup strats now.
Wolfie's about to get his lamp and his cane.
I like checking the first half here since it is a sort of quick check just to do this whole section, and then I'll go right to Mothula if it's required, and then I'll work backwards from there. But if I have the Cane of Samaria, checking that first chest in the room that Sean's about to enter isn't that long either. I don't know.
I actually like to check this on the way to Mothula, just because
the back half, yeah.
Well, like, if something is here, and then you can go straight to Mothula after that. If those 2 things are actually items, that can rule out the chest past like the maze in the second half of Skullwoods. You don't have to go down onto the bridge and stuff.
So boots were in Tower of Hera, and Wolfie just hasn't had an incentive to go up there yet. I mean, he knows he can't take a look at the tablet until he gets the book from the logging hut, and he doesn't have hammer or hookshot, which would be an incentive to actually go to Death Mountain to check the other items. There's just 2 items sitting up there, and it's a pendant dungeon. Now, I think if Tower of Hera was a crystal dungeon, Wolfie would have done it a lot sooner. Oh, we had another confirmation check of the Dark World map.
We know 5 and 6 are Eastern and Ice Palace, and we know Myra's a green pendant.
Yeah,
everything else is crystal. So, I think mainly both of these runners are just looking for a hammer at this point. That's what's going to open up the most for them.
It might be Vanilla Hammer.
That would be awful.
I mean, especially when you don't have bow, there's less of an incentive to actually go into Palace of Darkness, depending on where the small key is. But there's a chance. I feel like this is a trolley seed. Like, we have some progression, but there's also a lot that's locked. I mean, you see when you're doing Dark World, when you do these randomizers, there's so much that is sort of locked behind getting hammer that you don't quite realize it. Which I actually think is a good job on the devs, just to sort of require these, like, you see hammers required for something like beating Ice Palace. 10 shots with the bow. Oh, the dream is dead. But there's still trolls. There are still trolls to be had.
Hammer could be in somewhere like Ice Palace.
Yep.
Which you wouldn't want to go into unless you had the hammer, because you needed to beat it, but could be somewhere very time-wasting.
So, Wolfie sort of running out of places to check. It looks like he's heading on up to Tower Hera. No, that... So, Sean is trying to pull the tree here, and it does nothing, because once you kill Aghanim, the pull trees change.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually. Like, all of them?
I can't say for certain. I know that tree no longer works. I think the one in Lost Woods no longer works. But it also adds some, like, there's some statues you can pull in the swamp section of Light World.
Oh, apparently you can pull that painting.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That is always, regardless of whether you kill Aghanim or not, I think. Maybe someone in chat will correct me, but I think you can always pull that painting. So Wolfie is about to get his boots here. It's on the next floor. He'll probably be pretty happy about that. And it's also nice that he can just grab the item in the big chest, which was just a bomb upgrade, but he can get it out of the way, leave the dungeon, and then he'll have to decide what he wants to do with the boots. Like if he wants to go kill Aghanims to try to get Book. No idea. We still don't know if Book is necessary, though. Pedestal Hype is dead, yes.
I mean, Hammer could easily be at a tablet.
Right.
It could also be at Sahasrara, which you'd need to beat Meyer for.
Now, we have seen Wolfie do Thieves Town, so we know we don't get the progression items quite in here. Looks like Wolfie, now that he has a boost, he's going to take a look at the chest here, get his Tempered Sword. He might head on over to King's Tomb, since he can access that.
I'm really curious if he plans on going to Aghanim or not.
I don't know what I would do in his position. I mean, there's still places for him to check, but it's also, you don't want to sort of go out of your way. Like you don't want to go into Pod only to be disappointed that you need Bow to progress, or the hammer's just not there and you can't beat the dungeon. And so it's difficult to make those sort of decisions.
Yeah. I want to say that I think Bow is not like listed as or Bow is probably listed as a required item for the items in the Pod Dark Maze.
Okay.
In cases where you can get key locked if you don't have the bow, I think.
Right.
So that actually, if that's true, that makes Pod a little bit of a worse call than it might seem, even.
Although, in terms of Crystal Dungeons, I mean, Swamp House, you can only take a look at one item, and it has to be Hammer if you want to actually beat it. And I've seen that. I think I've seen that in one of our races, actually.
I've heard of that happening, yeah. That's one of the worst spots.
I call that the Alucard, because he got lucky finding that at one point when he was looking for Hammer, and it was there.
The Stoops.
Yeah. Yeah, so Sean, he only cleared half of Thieves Town, and it was a Crystal Dungeon. I don't know how I feel about that.
That's actually really odd. I don't see a reason not to clear it out.
He wants Hammer, but I still think
Hammer could be in there as far as
Yeah.
he knows. I think that's a bad call.
If you could do a Crystal Dungeon, go get the Crystal. Now, it's better if you can full clear a Crystal Dungeon, but it's just one item. I think Thieves is pretty much a guaranteed just go do it if it's a Crystal Dungeon.
Yeah, like even without the hammer, the main danger is that you'll find Hammer later and forget to check the big chest. I've seen that happen before. It's kind of heartbreaking, but really, I'd say that's the only reason not to.
Hammer and Ice, that could be a thing. It's really annoying when it's there. That's another so. From Wolfie's perspective, okay, so Swamp requires Hammer and Hookshot to do anything. Palace of Darkness might require Bow. Ice Palace requires Hammer to be able to beat it. Turtle Rock requires Hammer just to get into it. So for Wolfie's, like, he doesn't really want to do these dungeons unless he has those items. And especially because both our runners are lacking Hookshot and Hammer, they're not even taking a look at Death Mountain, which has a ton of items in it on the right-hand side. They just can't get to it. So there are a lot of item locations. We just don't know where the progression is hitting to get over there. I feel like once one of our runners gets Hammer or Hookshot, they're going to go to Death Mountain, and there's going to be some payoff up there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see like a risky or unconventional call from one of them at some point, because right now they're both doing stuff that's pretty safe. Sean's going back to Thieves Town and clearing the rest of it. All right.
Okay, so Wolfie's deciding what he wants to do at this point.
He's going to 5, but He can't really go anywhere from here. He doesn't have the hammer to access the warp. If he wants to go to Palace of Darkness, that's gonna be a bit of a walk.
He couldn't. He has boots. He can get into Mire. He might go do that. And as I mentioned, if you can full clear a dungeon, go do it. It looks like he's going to do Desert since he hasn't checked it yet, though. I mean, it's a hard call for the runners. As we mentioned, everything else that we know of, we know one of the progression items is locked somewhere in a location that's probably in a dungeon that you would need something else to beat it. So,
I don't think anyone has checked the Bombos tablet.
That's right. We do have tablets.
Wulfy checked Ether tablet. Oh no, sorry, he doesn't have a book. Sean checked Ether tablet, I think. I want to say. I don't remember.
Pyramid was just what, Red Rupee, I think.
Something like that. But it could still be at Bombos tablet, and if it is at the Bombos tablet, then
that would put Sean ahead slightly, since he has already killed Aghanim. He has the book. He could just go get it. Personally, I like to take a look at something like the Bombos tablet when I'm also doing the purple chest. Ideally, just being able to group those items together saves a little bit of time in routing. Ether is the sort of thing I like to check if I'm going up to Tower Hera or I'm doing something in Death Mountain. So maybe Sean is thinking the same thing. But yeah, so our runners can clear Misery Mire, so Wulfy might head on in there after this. Sean does pick up his second crystal from Thieves Town. Of course, there's no items of worth here.
I feel like I'd rather enter crystal dungeons that I can't complete yet than check Mire as a pendant dungeon.
Right.
Because it's kind of long. It
three
does
items, though.
Pendant. It does have the green pendant, so that's 3 items. But that's just me personally, though.
These calls are hard to do. Is there an item in a pendant dungeon? That's always the question when you're playing the game. And I know in terms of routing, like, I know I'll check fast dungeons. Like if Skull Woods is a pendant dungeon, I'll still check it because it's still sort of fast. The Light World dungeons are pretty fast to check for items. So if they happen to be a pendant dungeon, I feel like they're not necessarily a bad call to take a look at. But like Mire, like you mentioned, is a little on the long side. At least it's not ice in terms of length.
It's still, given it only has 2 items in it, 3 if you count green pendant, it's not very much reward for the amount of time spent. And you don't know how long you're gonna... Well, actually, if you're full clearing it, you kind of do know how long you're gonna spend in there, but...
Right. So I'm not sure which crystal dungeon would be best to go in. Ice Palace, you only need Hammer to beat, so if Hammer's sitting in Ice Palace and you pick it up, that means you can just go beat it. Pod, as we mentioned, you sort of need both bow and hammer. Well, you need bow to beat it, and you need hammer to beat. Yeah, so you need to get both. I feel like it's a riskier call. And swamp, you would need both hookshot and hammer. So I feel like in terms of which dungeon they can go into, Ice Palace is the one that they only need one thing.
Yeah, swamp is like guaranteed. You go in, you know you're not going to be able to beat it at this point. Though. If Hammer is in the chest and swamp, and then Hookshot is somewhere behind Hammer, like say at Death Mountain.
Oh my gosh,
that would be pretty awful.
There are so many trolley opportunities. From what we've seen, our runners have pretty much checked everything they could get to, in a different combination. It's gonna be something trolley. Like at this point, it's something trolley. It's either in a pendant dungeon or it's in a dungeon that you require. It's just sort of ridiculous, and it's just a question of when one of our runners is actually going to go do the risky play.
It's really Hammer or Hookshot that would open up something else at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it could be, they could find a hook shot somewhere and then need that to access Death Mountain to find a hammer there.
I mean, Bow does unlock Eastern, which is a crystal dungeon. I'm not sure if they got all 3 items in Eastern. So it's small. And plus, when you have Bow, it does give you a bit more of an incentive to actually go into Palace of Darkness, since you can get pretty much all the items there.
Yeah. Palace of Darkness is a good
play
call.
then.
It's just a large investment.
Yeah.
Because it's front-loaded with keys. You need the keys to really get anywhere, so they're
speaking
always
of
going to be at the
which,
front. Yeah, it
So
looks
it looks
like
like
Wulfy's
Sean-
headed over there.
yeah, so Wulfy's heading into Palace of Darkness. He's going to make the play here. If there's not a small key on the left-hand side, he cannot do anything in this dungeon. Sean is heading up to take a look at the Ether Tablet, so we'll see shortly if book is required for this.
I think there's a good chance that something is at a tablet.
It's a shame he couldn't take a look at the Bombo's tablet. Since Sean was missing Hammer. Oh, we have hook shot.
And the hook shot.
So Aghanim is required, as well as book.
You can get to the Bombo's tablet just fine without the hammer.
Well, okay, yeah, you can get there, but the way to get there is actually from the portal in Village of Outcasts.
Right.
Which means you have to, basically take the scenic route a bit. But when Sean did that, he had the purple chest and he fluted over, which means he couldn't have just, it's just a little longer. He'd have to go and backtrack, essentially.
He should have gotten it when he went to Hype Cave.
Yeah. Did he have...
Yeah.
Okay. There's Hammer.
And, yep, Hammers and Death Mountain.
Alright, so Hookshot leads to Hammer. As I mentioned, you need either Hammer or Hookshot to get to the right-hand side. Considering Hammer is sitting over there, that means the required path is, getting the book and getting... Whoops.
Yeah, so this is... Sean is way in the lead now.
And there's Bow!
Yeah. Pod's not
All
gonna
he
pan
needs
out.
is Ice Rod at this point. And Ice Rod can be anywhere.
Ice Rod could be anywhere, but Sean already he checked the pendant dungeons long before Wulfy did, except neither of them have checked Mire.
Right.
So it's down to whether Ice Rod is in Mire or not, and if Wulfy can make a call like that quickly enough.
At this point, the only troll we're hoping for is if Sahasrahla is holding on to the Ice Rod. So Sean looks like he's going to go do Spiral Cave, okay, and then he'll probably head into the Dark World Death Mountain. Is Wulfy having internet troubles again?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, he did post in the chat, stupid internet connection issues are throwing me off. So he probably, since he has to, reset his connection all the time, he might be taking a time loss there, which is a shame.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And also, definitely tilt people.
Yeah. Yes, Sean can look for Ice Riding Crystal Dungeons, which I think is the right play. I do like taking a look at Death Mountain, of course, if you can do it. There's a lot of chests up here. But outside of that, it would be nice...
Sorry, Wulfy doing the hammer jump.
Nice.
Might be required to check these items in his position.
Because he doesn't have a key.
He doesn't have a key. Might not have enough keys to check it otherwise.
Alright, so there was no small key there, so he's just leaving at that point, since he can't really do anything without Hammer. And we know where that is now, since it's in Death Mountain.
Nobody's checked Turtle Rock right now because up until Sean just found the hookshot and the hammer, nobody had access to it. He could do Turtle Rock right now. But personally, I'd wait since there's no reason too.
I don't know if Sean knows where Bombos is, though. I'm not sure if he checked it. Which is a really odd call.
Like, he has to find the ice rod, so checking Turtle Rock would be a really bad call at this point.
So he's taking a look at what the medallion is. It's Quakes, and he's okay. He has Quake.
Oh, so they're both Quake.
Now, remember we saw Blue Cane earlier, and as I mentioned before, you could use the Blue Cane to do Spike Cave. Now, Sean's missing something like that. He could either take a bunch of potions to go do Spike Cave, or he has something like the Blue Cane or Cape. So we don't know if Ice Rod is sitting here. So right now, it's a quest to find Ice Rod. Now, Wolfie is going to go collect his book eventually when he goes through all of this. Hopefully, he'll find his way to Death Mountain shortly. But again, that's sort of a hard call to make. It's one of those risky plays because it's just one item that you're looking at when you go all the way back up to Death Mountain.
Yeah, it's quite far out of the way. But I find in V18, these kinds of bottlenecks tend to happen pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you have an item that only opens up 1 or 2 locations, and it actually becomes fairly likely that there is a required item in one of those locations.
It feels like sometimes the seeds can be a bit linear in where they want you to go.
Alright, Sean's in pod now. He's going to be able to clear all of it.
So we'll get to see what's on the right-hand side. And in the back, right-hand side.
Probably keys. Could maybe be Ice Rod. But probably not.
So that's the question. And chat, I think you can make your guess. Where do you think Ice Rod is? Do you want to go for the troll, say it's at Sahashala, or maybe Turtle Rock, which I think is sort of trolly? Or is it something easy like it's sitting in Swamp?
Ice Rod is so terrible because it's not likely to be anywhere.
Hammer Pegs, good call. They weren't able to check that before.
Oh, I feel like that's an easily forgotten about item.
Especially like this far in, you pretty much have everything but one item.
I've missed stuff like Bow and Samaria at Hammer Pegs, just because I had Titan's Mid early on, but not Hammer. Hammer was in East Death Mountain, and the hookshot was at the Ether Tablet, which is needed to access it. So Book did end up being required.
So Wolfie is making his way battling Aghanim right now. Sean's checking the 2 chests that we weren't able to see before because they were blocked by Bow. The hammer pegs are the pegs in front of the dwarves' hut in the Dark World. You hammer all of those pegs and it unlocks a cave where an item is. And of course, 2 small keys for his trouble, which we sort of predicted. It's very rare that's anything but keys. Oh! The dash Samaria trick.
These beetles can be pretty trolly. Or just way too many of them.
Alright, so Wolfie is making his way to get the book now. We're going to take a look at the right-hand side here, the back right-hand side of Palace of Darkness. See if we have Ice Rod.
Sean getting rid of these turtles in his way.
Oh, that's where the big key is, so... Oh, so I guess Wolfie did check it. I must have missed it.
I didn't see him go there.
Well, he opened the big chest, so he had the big key.
Oh, okay. Right. So you must have done, like, top hammer jump or something.
Alright, let's see where Wolfie takes his newfound book. Right up to Ether! What a call! Now, I do want to point out for Sean's case, he's pretty much finishing right now. He has one small key, so you always want to make sure before you head down to Helmassar that you also pick up a small key. I've gotten into a position before where I thought I picked up all the items, and I had the big key, but I was missing the small key. Like, I just left because I'm like, oh, the chest left over are things I don't need since I got all the items. But you need a small key to go downstairs to get to Helmassar, the King Helmassar. Yeah, you make the play to kill Aghanim to get Buck. You know it's worth. It was just a question of, was he going to walk on over to Bombos or come to Ether? And the instant payoff for Wolfie, he gets hookshot. He's up in Death Mountain. Hopefully he'll take a look at the right-hand side. Maybe flute to Old Man.
I mean, it's pretty obvious what hookshot opens up, so...
Sure.
If you checked anything else, I would say that's a pretty bad call. Sean having trouble with the ledge. That ledge is kind of dumb. You can grab it, trying to jump off it, or you can also just like not interact with it at all and pass over it like it's not there and fall in the hole.
Speaking of where Comcast is taking Wolfie's internet connection, not good places.
Well, we don't have Comcast in Canada, so
oh well.
Blame them.
any internet service provider. It's always their fault. Sean opting not to do silver strats. He has the silver arrows. We saw him pick it up, but he just didn't switch them.
He's either forgotten that he has silvers, or he doesn't want to switch. Or he doesn't want to take the time switching and lag the game. Because silver arrows are a lot laggier than normal arrows because of the sparkles.
The sparkles. From your favorite bow. Sparkle bow.
I mean, I enjoy it.
Pretty much the any percent strat for this room.
He messed it up, but he had tempered to fall back on to clean it up easier.
Blaming Comcast for Trolley Ice Rod. There you go. So keep in mind that Wolfie actually did dip into this dungeon already, so when he comes back, all he has to do is, he has the big key, so he can just go and beat it. So Sean has a slight lead, but that's about it. It can still go either way depending on where Ice Rod is. So they're close. Sean has a slight lead. Dash strats. So we have our third crystal for Sean. And he'll probably just go right into Eastern after this, get his fourth crystal.
I wouldn't blame Comcast for a trolley ice rod, to be honest. I'd be more likely to blame him for bug net neutrality issues.
Bug net neutrality. Yeah, we know the location of Bombos, but it looks like it wasn't required for either Meyer or Turtle Rock. So it looks like Wolfie is... I noticed his stream is back on his side, so we'll see a refresh soon. But he's currently in Hookshot Cave, so it looks like he collected everything he needed to. He has hammer, he has bow, so he's well set for what he needs to do. But Wolfie is not opting to do the Spike Cave, since he's missing Cape or Blue Rod, and he doesn't really have a potion. Yeah, that's a good question. So Sean did not finish Eastern, even though it was a Crystal Dungeon. It would have been the fastest to do it right after Palace of Darkness, but maybe he just wants to look for items. And
I still think that's a bad call, because like you have to do it at some point, no matter what. It also kind of gives you more time to think. That's why I would do it then. But he probably just forgot. He's probably just worried about where Ice Rod is.
So with Wolfie's newfound wealth, he's actually heading right into Swamp. As we mentioned, he already looked at all the items in Palace of Darkness, so he knows that Ice Rod probably isn't there.
Swamp has the biggest haul out of the dungeons and has 6 unique items.
Yep.
But it's also one of the shortest dungeons to rush as opposed to full clear.
Yep. It's a hard call. I like checking it for items because I feel like there's something here, but when you're only missing one item, there's a lot of chests here, so I think probability-wise, it's a better call. Although, keep in mind, Turtle Rock also has 4 unique items. Or wait, is it? Yeah, it's 4.
It has 5.
It's 5. Okay.
Not counting Mimic Cave, which Ice Rod could still be there.
So, both of those dungeons have a lot of chests that you can take a look at. That's the question. Is it sitting in Turtle Rock? Is it here in Swamp, which has a lot of chests? Or is it something trolly, like sitting in Sahasho's hands?
Turtle Rock is a really bad call in general when you're missing Ice Rod.
Yeah.
I know this from experience because I've gone to it multiple times. But...
you want to check the crystal dungeons that you can full clear and do Turtle Rock last, preferably.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the question. If we get that far and they still don't have Ice Rod, what do you do? Do you go into Mire on the off chance that's there, or do you just go right to Turtle Rock?
Turtle Rock is a several minute time sink if you go into it and you can't beat it. It takes a whole minute to get up there in the first place, and I think at least like 3-4 minutes, maybe more than that, to go through the whole dungeon again.
So you think Mire would be the right call at that point, just in case?
I do. Actually, though,
it's not a long dungeon to check.
It's a gamble. It's really, yeah. I actually really think it's up in the air. I think it might even depend on where these runners think they are in relation to each other. Like,
yep.
If one of them feels like they're behind and they need to gamble to secure the win, just gamble on Ice Rod being in Turtle Rock and hope that the other person is thinking Turtle Rock is a bad call so they don't check it.
And we have seen players make that kind of call in the race, so we'll have to see what our runners decide to do depending on where Ice Rod is actually sitting.
It's the big wild card to all these races that don't get it early or have T-Rock required. Now,
from Sean's perspective, I think this is actually interesting. If I were only looking for one item in Swamp, I might opt to go, in the direction of beating the boss first. There's a bunch of items there, rather than taking a look at this left-hand side, which takes more time. However, it's a tough call because you don't want to backtrack to check these items either.
And if you leave Swamp, like if you go to check somewhere else instead, and then Ice Rod was in West Side, then you're going to be kicking yourself later. I've actually seen some people only partial clear Swamp, and it ended up having something that they needed.
Yeah, I don't really like the option of partial clearing dungeon. If I were to go straight to the boss and beat it, I would still come back and take a look at the left-hand side. I wouldn't skip it if I know there's an item there. It's just... You don't want to run into the risk that you're going to miss something you need.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't skip parts of the dungeon at all. I just full clear it as normal. But that's a call some people can make. It's a little bit risky.
So just to put things in perspective of how close our runners actually are, yeah, they're in the same dungeon. And keep in mind, notice that Wolfie is heading straight to the boss, as I mentioned, rather than taking a look at the left-hand side first. When Wolfie goes to do Palace of Darkness, he can just beat it right away. He has the big key. And he can also just go warp right into Eastern and beat it, which is something Sean should have done at that time. So it's honestly, I would say our races are very close to each other.
Yeah, it's funny, like, when Sean found Hookshot and then Hammer and then Bow, it seemed like it kind of, sealed the deal for him, but really it's not the case with Ice Rod. being such a wild card.
Wulfy made a very good call. Go to Aghanim rather than making any other risky plays, since it unlocked Book, and then he immediately used Book. That was a good call for him.
Yeah, I put him back in the game. And yeah,
here's a room you don't see on Sean's side, since he used the big key right away. So Wulfy, since he didn't take a look at the left-hand side, he got the big key. Rather than going backtracking to the big chest like Sean did, he's just going to beat the boss, maybe step back into the dungeon if he doesn't get Ice Rod to go take a look at the 2 items that he missed.
Yeah, that's definitely smart on Wulfy's part, because if he's going to go back to check stuff in the dungeon, he has to go back there anyways.
See, in Wulfy's position, the worst would have been if the big key was sitting on the left-hand side, because then he'd have to backtrack again to actually check the big chest. But it paid off for Wulfy. Alright, let's see what... No, the cape. Interesting.
That's an odd spot for it. This is well after any point that it would have been useful.
Well, there's still 2 locations that Cape unlocks, although I think we saw the ledge item and it wasn't anything good.
Yeah.
Powder in Mimic Cave, Back Cave, holds Ice Rod. Dude, that is the troll. To require Turtle Rock twice is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I think that's like one of the only things that could do that.
I think that's almost up there with a pedestal seed. I think we can hope for that troll, chat.
That's it's quite a theory.
Powder anywhere in Turtle Rock is the troll.
That is actually far worse than a pedestal sleeve, just because once you realize, like, I'm gonna say this, I think pedestal sleeves are kind of overhyped, because once you realize that something required is that pedestal, you know you just have to do 3 extra dungeons, and there are fewer calls to make. There's fewer like guesswork involved. Fewer guesswork, good grammar. So it's just kind of like you have to do more. There are fewer decisions to make. But something like this would really, really mix things up.
Definitely. I mean, it's nice for, chat to sort of root for something, and we like seeing the rare chance that pedestal is required, but you got a point. In terms of trolls, this is ultimate.
Oh, fetch quest at pedestal. Oh, okay, now we're talking.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
Poor Andy. Alright, so Sean is making his way through Ice Palace while Wulfy finishes up getting the items here. He's going to get the last item right here in Swamp, and then he's going to go somewhere else. Well, I guess he wasn't counting chest, because this is a compass. So which dungeons Wulfy got? I think Ice Palace is the good call. As we mentioned, you want to finish up the Crystal Dungeons. Sean did pick up Swamp, so Tear should there you go. So really, like, Sean has to finish up Eastern to get his last crystal there. Once he finishes Ice, and then he has to make the call: does he go into Mire? Does he go up to Turtle Rock?
It's about the only call left, isn't it?
Pretty much. We know Tara Hera doesn't have any more items. We know Pedestal doesn't have Ice Rod. So yeah, it's Mire or T-Rock. This is what it's come to, unless it's sitting in Ice Palace here.
Or Fat Fairy could have it.
Yep. Which we should see after this, hopefully, from Sean, since he'll have both of the crystals.
No, he won't. Eastern is number 6.
It's Mart, that's right!
And he didn't get Eastern, so...
Sean, why? No. This could be an advantage for Wulfy, but Wolfie's, he's finishing Pod and probably Eastern after this. Getting a bomb jump from Sean.
Oh yeah, none of them have checked Spike Cave either.
Right. Which I think is the sort of thing you would do before going into Turtle Rock, I would hope.
Oh, I don't know, it's kind of isolated. It's pretty easily forgotten about. I've definitely forgotten about it a few times myself.
And we haven't checked Hammer Pegs, as someone in chat mentioned. Frugal Fairy hype, that's right.
At least they're still doing dungeons they know they can do at this point.
As Cross Product mentioned, maybe Large Marge is what we're going for.
Large Marge. That reminds me of a certain Harry Potter movie.
Oh yeah. Well, now that picture's in my head.
Oh yeah, Thieves Town Big Chest. I think that was ruled out to be the compass, though. I'm not sure about it. I think it was.
So many locations. I think the play is, take a look at Large Marge. It's 2 chests, doesn't take that much time, especially for both our runners since they killed Aghanim. You can do the mirror strat to get up there a little faster. Hammer Pegs, I think, would be really quick to check, get that out of the way. Then maybe you have to decide if you want to do Spike Cave or, as we keep talking about, is it in a dungeon? It looks like Sean is going to go to the back door. Is this faster? I guess it's faster than walking down, but you have to go all the way down. I don't know how I feel about that route. Oh, I see. He's gonna go take a look at the chest this way. Okay. I like the route now.
I think Ice Palace is the hardest dungeon to route by far.
Oh yeah, and especially when you're only looking for one item. Like once you find it, you pretty much just want to go beat it. It's like, do you want to do bomb jump or do you want to full clear because you're going to look for items anyway? How do you full clear it quickly? Look at this. Fat Fairy, Portly Pixie, Stout Sprite, Chubby Cherub. Cherub? I don't actually know how to say that word.
I think it's Cherub.
Alright, Wolfie has finished Palace of Darkness. He's going right into Eastern to go finish that, get his crystal number 5. Sean is pretty much... I didn't get a count of his items, but he just has Cold Stare left. Yeah, I think Ice Palace for me was the dungeon I learned last in terms of like being able to get through it quickly enough. I thought Meyer would do that for me, but I ended up learning Meyer sort of quickly.
Yeah, Meyer doesn't have that many decisions you need to make. Oh, Cold Stare, giving him the powder.
So this is good for Sean, though. I mean, it misses out on a troll for us, so that's sort of a shame. But it does mean he can take a look at the bat and also the hammer pegs at the same time.
Oh yeah, that is really good. That's a great combo.
Yeah, it pushes in the pegs. So speaking of which, he's going right there. I suspect from Wolfie's end, he's just going to go right into Ice Palace after this.
Yeah, that'd be logical. And that would also open up Fat Fairy for him.
So if Fat Fairy has Ice Rod, I think it's an advantage for Wolfie. If Hammer Pegs or the Batcave here has Ice Rod, it's an advantage for Sean.
Could have been an advantage for Sean if he just already done Eastern. Just saying.
Yeah. Bombs. All right. Let's see if Batcave has it. Nice backdoor route to hit to the Batcave. I like doing this route when I have the chance to, but if I'm doing my overall check of the Dark World, you know, doing the purple chest, everything on the southern side, I don't do this because, you know, you have to go portal again.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's especially an annoying call when you get to this part and you don't have the hammer, because then you have to decide, okay, do I want to sacrifice my Dark World portal to check Batcave?
So sadly, Batcave only had an arrow upgrade. So what's Sean gonna do? Is he gonna take a look at Spike Cave? Oh, did he get? Yeah, he had cape. He has cape. Okay.
Yeah, looks like he's going there. I wonder if they've forgotten where... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with chat.
Oh, so I wonder if they had forgotten where Canterburner was. So it was at the library, but now that they have cape, they don't need it.
There's no reason to pick it up, yeah.
Oh, Sean not even using it, he's just hook-shotting the torches. Doing some spike dashes.
He has a lot of hearts. It's a little close. I think he got it. He did not need the cape at all. Interesting. I think he's going to go backwards. He might be thinking of doing Turtle Rock right away, which is really weird since he didn't do Eastern and get his last crystal.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe he forgot. Like, we didn't see him beat it, right? We have to take a look at his inventory.
He did not. I'm like pretty positive he didn't.
Because why didn't he check Fat Fairy before doing this?
Right.
Oh, he's doing it.
No.
Yeah, he's missing 2 crystals. Yeah, he didn't do Eastern.
This isn't even worth it at all, because even if he does find Ice Rod and T-Rock, he's just gonna have to go back down the mountain to do Eastern.
Maybe he thinks he's behind, and he's just making a play and hoping to get out. But
there's still no reason not to do Eastern.
I know.
Like, this is just, I can't condone this.
Oh, that's a shame. Especially if something like Meyer has it, he's going to be kicking himself if he watches after, because he's sort of throwing away the lead at this point. But if it's in there, okay, he still has a chance. He's wasting a couple minutes, but that might be enough, because Wolfie might opt to do Meyer instead. So it's still an unknown at this point. We don't know where Ice Rod is. We don't know who actually will end up winning this race. It could go either way. Honestly, I'm rooting for Fat Fairy at this point.
I mean, if Ice Rod's in T-Rock and he does T-Rock, he's gonna realize he forgot Eastern. So there's that at least. But yeah, I have a feeling about Fat Fairy at this point.
So at this point, as far as we know, we have 2 items at Fat Fairy. We have 3 items counting the Sahashala pendant from Meyer, and we have 5 items. Oh, sorry, 6 items in Turtle Rock. But one of them could be blocked by Trinex itself, and that doesn't really matter, because that can't be Ice Rod. So that's pretty much an even, like, 50% either way. I mean, the randomizer logic itself, it can, since Ice Rod, I assume, was the last item placed, it will and can put it anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, since Ice Rod's only required to defeat Trinex, that's one thing. It won't be in Ganon's Tower if T-Rock's required, but other than that, it can be anywhere.
Alright, so Wulfy's almost done with Ice Palace here. He'll just pick up the last item here. Oh,
Sean having a tough
chomps.
time with the chain chomp room.
It's tricky. Oh, big key here is nice, but he still should opt to check all the chests if he's looking for Ice Rod. Alright, and Wulfy is about to enter Cold Stairs room, so let's see him do how quick this is for him. Nice thing about half magic means you need 8 shots with the fire rod, which typically takes all of your magic if you don't have half magic. But since he has half magic, he can also use it on the fight itself, which I think does tempered sword damage, if I'm correct. But they also do a ton of damage, so a little risky there from Wulfy, but he does pull it off. Alright, so Wulfy picks up his Ice Palace Crystal. Maybe he'll opt to do Fat Fairy right away, which I think would be a good call since, as we mentioned, sort of a quick check.
Stoops Jet commentary.
It happens.
Alright, we're gonna see Mimic Cave.
So Wulfy did not do Fat Fairy. He's also heading right up to Turtle Rock. Now the difference is he has all the crystals he needs. So if Sean finds it, he's gonna find his lead like gone.
That's actually really funny. Because like you'd think gambling for T-Rock like this would be like if it's not there then you're screwed. But actually, he's now in a position where if Ice Rod is in here, he'll be at a disadvantage compared to if it's not. Because if it's not here, he'll be done checking T-Rock first, and then he'll be free to go to other places.
Right.
Both
of our runners are making very interesting calls at this point. I feel like, so I can imagine from Wulfy's perspective, it's like 136 in. Average time for beating it is probably something like 140 to 145. So he's probably thinking, my opponent is ahead of me. I need to make a risky play to get ahead. So I think that's what Wulfy is thinking. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to ask him if we interview him.
Yeah. Fat Fairy takes like, I want to say it takes 2 minutes to check.
But as you mentioned, it's a several minute loss for coming here and then having to come back through. You have to start all over and pretty much do all of Turtle Rock again. Yeah,
it's like, it's really all or nothing. But also, like, if you avoid making the one gamble and that's what you need, then that's also kind of all or nothing. Just multiple minute time losses from checking each individual thing that's not T-Rock. And because T-Rock has so many items, it kind of goes both ways here. Alright.
So the last few items right here.
Yep. This is it.
I hate that last jelly. It's just in such a weird position.
Why isn't he laying a cane block? That's the easiest way to get him off. He knows that.
Yeah. No Ice Rod.
No Ice Rod. That's actually good for him, though.
It is.
I don't think I've ever seen that where where T-Rock gamble not paying off is actually good.
I think, just commenting to chat now, The most common emulator used by runners is SNES 9X, the latest version of it. You don't want to use an earlier version because they didn't implement lag at that point. Or maybe they didn't do it correctly or something.
It's less accurate. Sort of like how ZSNES is less accurate. Anything like 1.5 and up is fine, but 1.43 doesn't emulate lag correctly.
That's right. We didn't have a Bombos check either. Good call, Vitor.
I always thought we did because I thought chat kept saying that it was checked, so I thought I just missed it.
I can't recall if either of our runners actually went over there. I don't think they did.
I didn't see it, but I assumed I missed it, so maybe not.
So Sean realizing he's missing the Eastern Palace crystal.
Oh man, that hurts. I didn't. Yeah, wow, that hurts.
I don't think he realized he forgot to do it.
This is gonna be close.
So that's where Sean's decision is. He's gonna go beat Eastern, check Fat Fairy. Wolfie's already done this, so once he takes a look at the last items here in Turtle Rock, he's gonna find himself leaving, and then he'll have to decide. So we still have such a close race. Oh my gosh. It might come down to, you know, where the big key is in Ganon's Tower. Like, it's that close.
Eastern doesn't have a great layout for rushing, unfortunately. You still have to get all the way down to where the bow chest is. The only thing is you skip the big key chest detour.
Eastern is the nice dungeon to do after you have bow, because then you can just go beat it at the same time. Having to backtrack through Eastern sort of... It sort of stinks, but at the same time, the item locations, I feel like the randomizer favors placing items here.
Yeah, because you don't need anything to access
the arrow strats.
Eastern. Yeah, I like that strat. I saw that the other day. I think Andy did that. But yeah, you don't need anything to check the chest in Eastern.
Yeah.
From the get-go. It's the only dungeon you have full access to, aside from defeating the boss, which makes sense because otherwise you wouldn't really be able to do anything there in vanilla. Also, chat pointed out that not seeing the super bomb was the fastest way for Sean to find out that he didn't do Eastern instead of going all the way to Ganon's Tower.
I was actually worried that if he had Ice Rod, he would have done that. But yeah, we do have a clip in chat of him checking the Fat Fairy, or the bomb, and realizing he didn't do this dungeon yet. Now, Silvers does make quick work of Armos. They only need one shot. Once he actually hits him, there he goes. And that was an item too, so it's really interesting that Sean sort of missed that. Bombos is not required at all this seed. And plus, if Bombos was even needed for Meyer, it's right on the ledge of desert, so...
Meyer's Quake. They're both Quake.
Yeah.
Still interesting that Sean didn't pick up Bombos when he saw it on the desert ledge, but...
I probably would have picked it up at that time, especially if I didn't know what the dungeons were.
I think I think he's just actually like having one of those days where he's making mistakes and he's forgetting things.
He had a portal right there, so why not use it? Nice.
Oh, nice catch.
Alright, let's see what Large Marge has in store for us.
I probably would have missed that and just gone to the regular portal.
Pedestal was just 10 arrows. It was somewhat disappointing, although I think I'm enjoying where this is taking us right now. So Wolfie does finish his check of Turtle Rock. Let's see where he opts to go next.
He needs to go to Meyer, I think, or he's going to be at a disadvantage.
Oh, you can't do the fast... Oh, dear. Oh, Sean almost missing. So you can't do any kind of speed strats with the bomb. Okay. Well, He has it set up. So 50 rupees and red rupee. Fat Fairy is disappointing as usual.
I think, is Wolfie gonna go check pegs? I don't think he did that yet.
He hasn't done that yet.
Alright, Sean's going to Meyer. I think that's the last place, except for...
Bombos.
Oh yeah, Bombos. I guess they just both forgot Bombos.
Now, I think if Wolfie takes the portal, like, south of Link's house, he might do Bombos first and then go do Fat Fairy. That would, I would say, be ideal. For Wolfie.
Yeah. Could be at Bombos still. So... Oh, I really hate when Quake is the medallion for Myra because it doesn't actually do anything to the bird.
Yeah, you have to remember to actually kill the murder dactyl. I tried trolling again, as usual, in our randomizers. Oh, almost a 1 round for Sean there. Wolfie picks up the disappointing arrow upgrade.
I think Thieves Town Big Chest was ruled out to be Compass.
Tarahera was checked completely. Wolfie decided to take the portal here.
Quarter Magic is not in this seed. It has a 1 in 3 chance of being there instead of Half Magic.
Nope, Big Chest is an item. Wolfie just took a look at his inventory and noticed he has both compass and map. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, that's his call. He's gonna make the call for the Big Chest here. We still have Bombos, and of course we have Meyer and Sahasrara. Which of our runners is making the right call at this point?
I mean, regardless, I think going back and not checking Thieves Town Big Chest earlier was not a great call. But
yeah, they got hammered so late, though.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you can forget about so easily.
I think checking Bombos would have been faster than, doing Turtle Rock. I feel like they should have gotten that out of the way.
Yeah, that's...
But this one's a hard one. Do you do Meyer, which has more items, or do you come back and do Thieves Town here?
The only, really real excuse I can think of for Bombos is that if you're in a position where, you don't have Hammer and it's hard to get to that area, then Hype Cave can be distracting, and then once you get Hype Cave, you're...
Yeah.
Just kind of leave. I've seen that happen most often.
Oh no, now's not the time for internet issues. Come on, Wolfie.
Just hold out for a few more seconds.
And bombs. It is not Thieves Town. So, we're down to Meyer, Sahasrara, or Bombos. There it is!
Oh!
Ice Rod is sitting in Meyer. Sean is in go mode. Wolfie, it looks like he's going to take a look at the pedestal because he never did it earlier. He did Skull Woods, but he didn't have book at the time. So he's going to see, hey, wait a minute, I didn't check this location. Could it be up here?
Wow.
So go mode, just in case anyone here in chat doesn't know, it just means that Sean is done. He has all the required items. He can just go beat the game. Now, at this point in time, there's not actually much for him to do anyway. He just has to beat Turtle Rock and then go into Ganon's Tower. But sometimes we've seen races where our racers have entered go mode less than an hour in which case they're just rushing through the dungeons.
Yeah. It's not always, it's definitely good for peace of mind, but it isn't always faster to be in go mode earlier. Like, there definitely been races before where one player's in go mode much earlier than the other, but the other one is much further ahead in crystals and they find their last item. But here we're both pretty bottlenecked, so Wulfy's going into Mire now, so it's pretty clear how far behind he's going to be.
So yeah, Wulfy is heading into Mire, so once he makes his way, and it's a shame, it was in the chest that you have to move the wall for. So, which is normally the big key chest. So Wulfy does have quite a ways to make his way through here, but he will be rewarded with the Ice Rod. And then he'll be right on Sean's tail.
I just think it's kind of interesting to me that Sean was so proactive at the start of the game in checking pendant dungeons, and then he goes to Turtle Rock before checking the final pendant dungeon where Ice Rod was.
I know. But both of our runners making the same call actually still kept Sean ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but we're still close enough that big key being in right-hand side and one of our runners gambling for it could make a difference.
Yeah, I mean they've both cleared Turtle Rock, so they both just have to rush to the end of it. It's gonna take a fairly significant upset in Ganon's Tower to make this difference, though. And by rushing TR, I mean they don't have to search for the big key. They don't have to go
or
into the pokey room. They don't have to go into the roller room or anything like that. It still is a
couple
difference.
Rooms. Yeah. So Wulfy's making his way upstairs. He'll do the fire rod glitch to light the torches, and then of course he'll get the last item that he needs. No butter sword, but yeah, you don't really need it.
It's probably good enough. In Ganon's Tower anyways.
Yeah.
They actually, honestly, they checked nearly everything outside of Ganon's Tower.
Could be Bombos.
Could be.
There's Ice Rod for Wulfy. So now he's going to make his way up to Turtle Rock, kill Tridents like Sean just did. So now's the chance, chat. This is it. Get your guesses in. Which chest number, 1 to 22, will have the big key? This is a big difference because if it's one of the later numbers and Sean doesn't do, what is 23? Right, yeah, this could make a big difference. I like to guess Bob's chest. So yeah, number 14. 14 is Bob. First, we'll have to see if Bob puts clothes on, though. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see if he forgets his uniform at home. Also, which side is Sean going to go? Because I wouldn't put it past Sean to think that he's behind in this race.
Right, he's at 152. He's also thinking, like, my opponent could be, like, not dunning at any point.
Yeah, he made, definitely made a few routing mistakes, and got unlucky with where he checked.
I think the
really
big
was
question
one of the last places
we have is, will Wulfy's internet hold out until he beats the game?
I'm not holding my breath.
So there were no small keys on the right-hand side for Sean, so he couldn't really make the decision. He could go and get the key on the left-hand side and backtrack. It looks like Bob will live and be not dressed, so... Okay, so it looks like Sean will go do the left-hand side first.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a shame because now I expect both rudders to go left.
Yeah.
Kind of takes the hype out of that. Wulfy is just making his way through the plumbing.
Getting some high bobs in chat already. A little too soon, but it's alright. Spam the high bobs. That's just a name we gave Bob. I don't know who named him, but he has a name, and his name is Bob. Alright. So I actually took a look at the timer when they were at this area. Wulfy is currently 4 minutes behind Sean. A sizable difference, but big key location can make a difference here.
I mean, since I doubt it will, since they don't really have an easy decision to go right at all.
It could be sitting in the tile room for all we know, and Wulfy will just decide to do it. We'll have to see what Wulfy does once he gets up there. Why is he going that? Whoops.
I guess he's forgot.
Muscle memory. Muscle memory. Yeah, we're gonna have to see a gamble from Wulfy on the right-hand side, which is hard to do, and the big key has to be over there for him to like close the gap. Of course, something like a fall to Ganon can also make a difference.
It can. I don't expect Sean to do that though.
Yeah.
Silver arrows, red mail, 18 hearts now, and a fairy in a bottle that he just found.
Alright, come on, let's see Bob's chest. Which I will point out to chat, you can actually access from either left-hand side or right-hand side. This is where both the paths converge. Alright, Wulfy gets his last crystal. There's Bob, the glitched out that Sean just killed Bob. Well, I guess he turned him into a fairy. Poor Bob. But it was not Bob's chest. We are down to chest number 15 through 17 after Armo's here, and then it has to be on the right-hand side.
All right, let's see how many arrows Sean misses this time.
Sorry, he has 50, over 50.
All right, well that was definitely an improvement over the last Armos fight.
All right, and there's the big key, number 17. Pretty much vanilla location. And Sean does have one small key before he heads upstairs, which I always tell people, make sure you have a small key before you come up here, because you can sort of lock yourself if there's no small key in the chest upstairs. There's like 3.
Sean having a bit of trouble with mimics.
And dashing. It's alright.
Mimics one is a pretty difficult room.
It's the spike, the moving spike sort of throws you off.
I think my main issue is when the spike comes and I accidentally poke it with my sword.
Yeah.
And then I'm not fixed looking down when I move side to side.
So I think actually we are going to rip the sub 2 hours. I don't think there's any way for Sean to finish within 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, it's not happening. I was pretty sure that going into
Talk about a trolley seed having it be over 2 hours long for both of the runners. Both of the runners very good.
Trolley seed, and they didn't make the right decisions.
Yeah. It was definitely possible to sub 2 hour this if they had made the call to do Mire instead of Turtle Rock, but you know, you got to take chances sometimes. When you know your opponent is good, you want to make sure. I guess make risk. I don't know. I'm going to be going up against one of these two because this is who I'm waiting for. Once they finish their races, whoever leads, I will be going again. So I'm not sure if I want to take chances or just do safe routing.
Yeah, it definitely kind of depends on your opponent's skill level. How hard you want to make gambles, I'd say that's a factor.
Oh yeah, so I do want to put Wolfie went right-hand side.
Oh, he did.
If he continues to go downstairs, he's okay. But if he mirrors out after checking these 4 chests, he's in trouble. And he's going to actually take up more time.
And his internet seems to cut out, so
we don't know.
Doing.
This is where he's going to come back. He's going to be at Aghanim. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's actually not possible, unfortunately.
Okay, so it looks like his stream is back. Spoilers. He went left-hand side.
Oh.
But he did make the risky strat. He felt like his opponent was ahead. I think it was a good call trying for that gamble. It's just a shame. So that's why I'm not sure. If I do right-hand side first, is it better to just continue? I hate that bridge that, falls apart with all the fire bars. It's horrible, but you have cape, so you can easily get through it. I like that strat from Sean on the mini Helmosaurs, though.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that strat before.
Yeah, I think so, Vitor. You still get to check 4 more chests if you were to continue on. Alright, so Sean has
to not pick up the validation chest, and yep, he's ignoring it.
That's right. That's right, Sean. Good game. You win, in my estimation, for skipping that chest. Alright, so let's see how many rounds it takes for Sean. Looks like Wolfie's internet is back up and working again. He's about to finish up. He just has to do the Bob chest and then go fight Armos.
With a seed like this, who really wants a valid run, honestly?
That's right. Too respectful of the seed at that point.
Not really a fan of validation chest myself.
Same.
I only check it if I think there might be silvers in it.
A little disrespect for Aghanim from Sean there. So wait, what? What is Wolfie doing?
I don't know.
Did he not away? Did he not fight Armos?
I saw him in Bob's room.
He doesn't have the big key. Wolfie.
Did he mirror before going down the hole?
Why would he?
He's going to check tile. Oh, I guess he's doing this on purpose. Why though? Tile room's pretty fast to check after Armos.
Well, Sean is finishing up now. He's moving. He's on currently the 3rd phase of the Ganon fight. Gets the quick shot in. Let's see if he gets the torch glitch. Not quite, but he has silver, so it's no big deal.
Yeah, torch glitch doesn't really matter. Yeah, I guess so. What Wolfie?
Looks like we will get a double from Sean. That is a GG. Sean has finished, and he has not done in SRL. So he has finished with a time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, 54 seconds. So that's pretty good. Only about 3 minutes over the 2 hour mark. That's that TR difference right there.
It's like nearly a full clear of the game, though.
So Wolfie, seeing his mistake, unfortunately, of trying that gamble. Of course, now that he sees his opponent has not done. he could just, you know, finish up. Oh, that's the same. So it looks like Sean might be a bit sick and he can't actually talk. So maybe he'll pop up in chat. He can answer some questions. That's right, honest. Wait, you sounds like the Crypt Keeper. We need to hear this, I think.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
tight on
actually
time
want to put his
anyway.
throat through.
Yeah, we don't really have time to chat. But if he does pop up here, feel free to ask some questions. I do want to point out that we have another race starting right after this one, which is Mist versus Aaron. And they're going to be doing 2 games back to back. So don't go anywhere. As soon as Wolfie finishes here, we're going to move into the other one. But it will mean we won't be able to interview Wolfie since we have to move on to the next race. They have a doubleheader. Should be fun.
Oh yeah, that was supposed to start at 2, wasn't it?
Yep. This is a
ran
long
kind of
scene.
long. All right, well, I don't know. Are we being kicked off now?
No, I don't think so. We'll see what Fiesel does, and if Fiesel kicks us, we'll hashtag blame Fiesel. I'm just kidding. It's tight for time, and they have to get races in, so it looks like we're gonna let Wolfie finish up. He's only about 5 minutes away, and then we'll just move on to the next race.
All right, sounds good.
So do give a follow to our runners while you can.
Yeah, definitely.
This was a trolley seed. They both did a great job. They had to make some calls because they didn't know where their opponent was. I mean, when you're like approaching the 2-hour mark, you have to feel your opponent's going to finish soon.
They actually, so they diverged a lot at the start. We couldn't see it at first because of Wolfie's internet, but we saw him in Dark World quite a bit before Sean had access to it.
Right. We have the frame that he was in Dark World.
But they converged towards the end. Like, we saw them make a lot of the same calls when they were stuck looking for where Hammer was and then where Ice Rod was.
I do once again want to say a great job to the organizers of this event. I know like our restreamers have been putting a lot of time in, making sure the restreams are okay and they're going well. Organizing the event in general, like putting the races together, making sure it all runs smoothly. So thanks to our team here for doing that. Hashtag blame Fiesel.
Yeah, shoutouts to Tara for running the tracker. I know he does that a lot.
Running a tracker is fun. The vampire skewers is what the 10 hours are called.
So as far as Wolfie going to the tile room, I think someone in chat pointed out that it was a gamble, and that is actually the last gamble he could have taken, I believe. Like the last decision he can make.
I think it would have been better if he did right-hand side. I mean, it would have been better for him to continue on at that point, so you don't lose that much time. But if you want to gamble, I think doing right-hand side and then doing tower room would have been the biggest gamble to do.
It was a desperation play, nothing more, because like it was just before Sean had done. So
yeah.
That was basically figured that was his last chance. Like obviously, that's not a thing that you do when all is well and good. Is go out of your way to check tile room like that. So could have been the last call that he needed, but it's too far gone at that point.
It's a shame we won't know where the butter sword sleeps. Alright, so here's Moldorm 2. Maybe Wolfie will opt to open a chest for us, just so we can see. It would be funny if that's butter sword, honestly. No, let's quake it, yeah! The disrespect. Beautiful. I actually thought about doing something like that to that chest, but I'm like, I just don't want to do the time loss. It's like a few seconds. No, don't
like
even look
4
at
seconds. Bombos is by far the longest of the medallions. It's like 7 seconds.
it. Yeah.
It's 400 and something frames.
Look at Chet. Glad he lost. Now that's mean. You know, he gave us a little unique treat, I think. There we go. The triple on Aghanim. He's gonna fall. He's gonna head over to Pyramid and then fall into it. So once again, stay tuned, everyone. In less than 5 minutes, another race will be on this channel. Double header. And then later on, we also have some races on Speed Gaming, starting at actually 3 p.m. There's going to be Ruble versus the OK guy, which I think I saw him in chat, actually. Both of them. And then, of course, 7:30 tonight, there's another doubleheader with Raiko Rider, who came from my group, and JC. So we're having so much Link to the Past today. All day, stay tuned to one of these two channels, and you will see Link to the Past.
It's what the people want.
All right. Wulfy is he's on the 3rd phase of Ganon now. He has silver arrows. This will be quick. He'll be dot dunning soon.
Missing torch glitch. Not a big deal though.
It's a shame. Both of our runners ended up missing it, but
Nice double.
Alright, and that is GG for Wulfy. So he has finished with an official time of 2 hours, 11 minutes, 2 seconds. So, yeah, just about 8 minutes off. And that was just from trying the right-hand side gambles, because as we mentioned in Turtle Rock, they were only 4 minutes behind. So that is it for our runners. What a race. Over 2 hours, Trolley Seed. As Sean put it in SRL, what a Stoops Alu Seed. So thank you all for watching. Make sure you give a follow to our runners. Stay tuned because we have another race coming up right next.